So thank you very much, everyone, for being here on this Sunday morning. And I know Junaid Bhai has a meeting as well, so we'll respect his time as at around 12:30. Then I have to start that meeting as well for him. So I'll try to finish as close as possible to 12 or maybe by 12:15, well before that. So it's about using the investment ideas list. It's a feature on my stocks analysis software available for those customers who are subscribed either to Elite services, the complete software package, or both either on monthly basis or annual basis. And it's using those lists which are updated regularly, using those lists to find good stocks to buy, using the tools and then analyzing it. So I have quite a few people. I was probably joined by somebody before you guys joined, and he was asking about whether we have dogs or not. So I thought that I told him that you are in a wrong group. This group is about the stocks, not about dogs. Anyway, so moving on. First disclaimer: the material presented here is for educational and learning purposes. I would request everyone to put their phones on mute. Let me see if I can mute all participants. Sister, 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 sister. Where is May I request everyone to mute their few phones?
पता लगता रहे 10-12 के फिर अपना वो पानी वगैरह तो सही पीने रहे हो फिर
हाँ जी पानी लाजमी हाइड्रेशन बहुत
Sabir bhai, you can mute it.
Yeah, inshallah.
Yeah, I've asked them people to mute
ये
them.
अल्लाह का शुक्र
As a host, you do that.
आगे जब
Sabir, I think you can have that option to mute everyone.
This is what I'm looking at. Host tools,
Ji,
mute.
ji,
Okay,
ji.
I have put everyone on mute. I'm sorry. Sometimes I struggle with technology, so it took me a while to find that control on Zoom. Anyway, so back to our presentation. Sorry about that distraction. The material presented here is for educational learning purposes only and should not be taken as purchase or sell recommendations. Trading, investing in stocks and derivatives, futures, options, etc. especially. I know some of my tools are being used for futures trading as well. So that's why I'm warning about the futures as well, because I do trade in futures and I know how risky those are. Those are risky and could result in a substantial loss of invested capital. I'm not a registered financial advisor with FINRA or SEC, and for any financial advice, please consult to a registered financial advisor. And what this means in reality, that do not disclose your individual positions with me, that I have 15 shares of that particular, like Apple, and I bought at this price, so should I sell it this price? No, I'm not into that business. I cannot go into their personal portfolios. I cannot advise you on that. So I simply regret on those matters and divert those queries. There are several licensed financial advisors in my group as well, and they can help you on that matter. So moving on. Okay, so today's agenda is first feature discussion on investment ideas list. And very closely linked with that, those investment idea list is the conviction score and what do they mean, the scores for each particular stock. And then using my proprietary TR indicator, trend recognition indicator, to find good buy points, along with another indicator which is PPO, and which I use all the time, percent price oscillator, which is basically a slightly modified form of popular MACD indicator. So I will explain that. And then there is a May promotion going on for the TR indicator for TradingView for the month during the Memorial weekend, and I'm going to have a stall in the ICNAS annual convention next weekend at Baltimore, and hope to see many customers from that area, or in fact from the country. And I probably will be very busy next week. It's a 3-day event. So moving on to so let's go to our software straight away. I don't have many. I don't have many slides today. I want to focus more on the software itself. So this is our main software. When you log in, you are on this page. So people who are subscribed to the weekly commentary, they can go to the weekly commentary, and this is the latest weekly commentary, and I just posted it yesterday. And you can see the past weekly commentaries with the stock picks. You can also see a bullet point summary. You can also see a PDF or download the PDF immediately if you want. People who are subscribed to the entire software, they can go to all those features, stocks analysis, TR indicator, watch list, and investment ideas, and many others. But today we are just going to focus on investment ideas. This is the topic of today's session. But what is investment ideas? These are ideas or interested stocks lists which are regularly being updated by me and by the AI system itself, combination of both. So I will explain those by one by one. On top here, you can select different views, and views means select different fields or columns. Like one is the performance view, one is a very quick view, another one is the action and conviction view. Because of the time, we will limit ourselves to performance and action and conviction view, or maybe a power zone view if time allows. And there are total of 5 uh, ideas list available here.
JGR Chaudhry here.
I'm sorry, is this what was the message? Is there a chat agent? This is what he was saying? Give me a second. No, I recognize most of the people here. I don't think there's any unwanted AI bot here. Anyway, so on top of this list is Earning Star, which is right now has 100 stocks in it. And this list, as it says, it consists of stocks that beat both earnings and revenue estimates set forth by market, means mostly analysts, and they have strong technicals. And they have been filtered by their WR rating, which is my proprietary indicator, and it means weighted rank rating, and market cap, and earning ER rating means earning ratings, earning rank rating, and it is updated weekly basis. So what actually I do whenever a company announces its earning, so twice a week or minimum of once a week, I pull out all those earnings for each and every company reporting in US, and then through a program filter those by these things. And this makes sure only very strong companies which are continuously beating the estimates set forth by the analysts and the market. So, for example, if you don't see Apple here, for example, maybe I don't think so. You see Apple here anyway. So, and Apple has announced its earning. So something is wrong with that. Either its WR rating has failed to meet this criteria, or it did not beat one of those estimates, like average revenue estimate or average earning estimates. It has to beat both the earning and the revenue estimates in order to appear here in this list. And then stock has to be liquid. There are thousands of stocks. So 5,700 in our universe, this software, but there are more than around 10, 12,000 stocks, and many of them are very small companies. They don't, and you can, if you start, do not filter those, you will end up having thousands of stocks here. No, totally non-manageable. So you can be rest assured that these are very good companies which are beating their estimates. Now, for example, I move to performance view and change the view, and I sorted out by month. This is by sorted out. So take a look at all these companies and their last 1 month performance as of now. So today is 17th of May. It means around 15th of April or whatever the weekend was of 17th of April. So the MaxLinear in MaxLinear, I think, MXL is the symbol, is 251% up. Sterling is 83. Sterling, by the way, is in my weekly pick as well, 83% up in 1 month. Similarly, the MU is 59% up. You see, in 1 month's performance, last week some of them were in red because last 2 days were red for the market overall. And the worst performers are very few. maximum is like this. It does not guarantee, but you see the range is around between 7, 8, 9, 10. Some are in 27, 32%, but majority of them are towards the very high end side. So our job is to select best of the best and to go one by one, or maybe if you have time. So let's say you are at the beginning of the month and you want to take some into account, take a look at the which are the best performing stocks. So this earnings gives you some very fundamentally strong stock. Fundamentally, why? Because they are growing their revenue, they are growing their earning, and they are beating all the estimates, and that's why they appear here. Plus, they are beating the WR rating means this WR percentile that this particular stock, its price ratio 251% up during the last 1 year has beaten 98% of stock in my universe, which is 5,700 stocks. And its earning rating is 66. So the way it is earning and growing its earning on a combined 3 years growth rate basis, it is better than 66% of the stock in the universe. Now, what happens? The market, if even if it brings down a stock for some reason, like 10% in 1 week, it was too extended, profiting, whatever. But in general, over the period of long term, market cannot ignore this kind of performance. Performance in earning growth, performance in price action, and market will definitely come back and give it a good buy or good support at some time. So our job is to find those strong stock because this is fundamentally strong stock. All of these are. You will find very high ratings of WRPCT, and WR stands for weighted rank, and I think I have explained it. And that it is this is a question about is it WR weighted rank, and if you scroll your mouse here, it will give you definition here. Weighted rank percentile 0 to 100, combined EPS growth, sales growth, return on equity, and profit margin. Higher is stronger. It's just not price action; it includes all these. So it has in a combined score of these, taking into account of these items, this stock has beaten 98% of stock. So what should we look? We should be looking for a good entry. Another question was, what is the last column? Last column is AAOFI. It's about being halal or not halal. And halal, I think that this is the maximum screen size on my monitor, so I cannot increase it further. There was a question. That's a good question. You said the date when the column ticker gets added to the earning star candidates. Okay, in the earning star, you can, because it's once in a quarter. So because earning is announced, it's only once in a quarter. So Maxell MXL will be updated or added or removed at a time when its earning is announced during the first quarter. And those which are for which their earnings have not been yet been announced, for example, Nvidia. If Nvidia is here, Nvidia is not here. So its earning is coming next week. Google's earning has come. So if you want to know when it was included in this, it's simple. When this earning was announced. And we can go back to the stocks analysis and check any stock when its earning was announced. Last column tells us is Sharia compliance according to the AAOFI standard. So this is questionable. This is not compliant. This is compliant, and this is questionable. Maybe not enough data. So if people who want to go and look into those details, they can go and check it according to that standard. So this is one source. Another source is my own, which is weekly picks. Parvez Ansari, you cannot see the AAOFI. If you don't see the AAOFI, go to the home page and make sure that below here on stock analysis, not the home, sorry, and over here towards your left, this checkbox is selected, AAOFI screening. If it is not selected, it will not appear. If it is selected, it will appear in all screens where it can, or it will be appeared here. It will appear here as well on your main screen right here. For example, this is for Cisco. So going back to our investment idea, the next one is the list. On the list is our weekly picks, and today we have 18 stocks, and those are those which are handpicked and updated every week by me, and I sent it yesterday. And those are available here in the weekly commentary in details. So if you go to the weekly commentary and open up this particular PDF, which I have already opened. So this is the latest weekly commentary updated yesterday. And it has a section on what happened last week, what is going on, why it happened, we think so, what is the market overall performance of different indexes, then the sector wise and the group wise performance, and within the group wise, which stocks were performed really well. For example, what is the performance of semiconductor, and what do we think is going to, like for example, we highlighted the software has probably software group, which was heavily beaten down, but it has shown signs of life, and it is probably one of the areas which we was ignored for last 6 or 7 months, and now it has found a double bottom. There are some good stocks in this area. Not every stock is a good stock. Then what is in the going to happen in the week ahead? Nvidia earnings is very important, and the Fed meeting is also important. Then the important economic events like Fed meeting, FOMC meeting, and then the important earnings. And then we have a three lists of our long-term stock picks, medium-term stock picks, and the short-term stock picks. Medium and short-term, and new picks for our watch list, which we can buy, or we can look into buying anytime during the week, especially on the Monday or Tuesday, if it is around our given buy point. Now, the way it works that I normally highlight it in bold. If we think that certain stock is giving us an entry around a level or maybe around a pullback to a particular support level. So for example, we're saying that Broadcom is still offering an entry at current prices. And these are for the long term. Long term means you buy this and you can forget it for years. We are looking more than past 1 year generally. And I myself normally I just go for the long term only. I don't go for very short term and swing trading because of my investment objectives, because I'm too busy in preparing all these things. So I don't do it on daily basis except for some day trading and the long term. Then the medium and short term picks, which are already there in our list from the past weekly commentaries. And if some of them are required to be closed, or some of them are still offering an entry, for example, AROC is still offering an entry at the current prices. Sterling, no, we think that it has gone into a profit taking, but don't ignore any pullbacks to the 9-day EMA for another possible entry. DRAM, another winner, but it lost 3.2% last week, and we don't see any entry here. And we think that this consolidation trend or cooling trend can continue for some time. So that's how it has been described. For some of them, we say that it's time to close those positions and get out or just completely close those positions. For example, I think NEM I mentioned, it was performing very well. But because the gold is under pressure for some time, the NEM is not likely to perform. And since it's a short term and a medium term trade, so it's maybe time for closing NEM out and move it to a watch list for another entry sometime down the road. So that's how this weekly commentary is selected. Now we have 18 stocks. Again, I'm not going to spend time on the weekly commentary. All those stocks will be listed in the investment ideas in our weekly picks. And as you can see, if you see their performance for last 1 month, 1 week, let's sort out for again 1 month. Most of them are there for a month or so. Most of them were bought at the end of the March or the beginning of the April. You see, Sterling was our topmost best performing pick, 83%. And then there were others like MU was there, Intel, SanDisk, DRAM was picked 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was 43% up since then. Twilio is in the software industry, and it was 41% up, although last week it was down. Marvel was another, AGS, Google, Nvidia is there. I have positions in Nvidia and Apple as well for long time, but for 1 month, Nvidia is 12% up. TSM just included, and then we will see that why TSM and the PL, those two have been selected just recently. Amazon was there, AROC I explained was there, FTI, MPLS, and GLDM is gold. And for last 1 month, gold is cooling back or in a consolidation phase, 6.3% it lost. So my point was, our weekly picks, if you just see those, most of them, if you see, thanks to God Almighty and the whatever wisdom He has given to us, that you see, it's during 1 month, most you will see almost all of them handsomely up. And those which are not up, either this MPLX, it's a very good dividend player, 8% approximately, 7.9, something like that. So you can carry it on. It's been there for 1 year or more. And gold, as we all know, is a long-term player. If not today, then tomorrow it will come back. That's what history says. Thousands. So this is what we focus on. That we just focus on, and this is my handpick list. So we keep on changing except for the long-term stock. And every week it is updated. So this says that stock selected using our proprietary TR indicator system. Look for strong buy TR signal when around a buy point for a potential entry. And the list is updated every Sunday. Okay. Then we have our AI monthly picks list. And the AI monthly picks list is chosen not by me, it's chosen by our machine learning model, the AI, and which analyzes the patterns, volume trends, and technical indicators and send it to an AI agent, which is Claude in this case, and it is picked by Claude, and it is done. You still see the PDF and cannot see my screen? I'm sorry, what is happening? All good now? Okay. I hope you can see my screen. Okay. So there might be some I don't know, network breakdown, whatever, pause, whatever. So up now AI monthly picks, 13 stocks were chosen, and when they do get updated, they get updated by the AI system once in a month at the beginning of the month. So it is updated after the close of first working day, so 1st of May in this case. So it was updated based on the prices on the 1st of the May. And I think I have the starting for this month. The previous month, previously there were 12 stocks. So this is going to be archived. They're already there. So if you want to track what happened to the stocks which were selected on 1st of April, so we can update this and see, okay, these were the 12 stocks which most likely were different from the current month's stocks. And what happened? So in 1 month, or maybe because it is it's 1.5 months old list, it just sorted by 1 month. And let's see. So these are the stocks. CIEN in 1 month is 9.3% up, and Fastlane unfortunately is a breakdown, and we close our positions. So in the 3 months and the 1 month, so these are the stocks which GEV was there last month, but I think this month it is not there. Okay, what is the question from the investment ideas simple list? If when a sell recommendation occur, how can a subscriber get an auto notification? There is no auto alert. I am going to add an alert system very soon. I'm working on it, and hopefully it will be ready pretty soon so that you can set alerts, and then you will receive the alerts through email or through the system. The system is on. Okay. For the week, and the question for the weekly you mentioned to enter when it enters the buy zone. How do you measure it is the buy point? I mean, I want to focus long-term pickup taken. We will discuss it now. We will evaluate one or two from the weekly list and see how we can identify the good buy point for them. So that was about the monthly picks. And this month's monthly pick list is here. And there are some good performer and some laggards as well. Like CLS has been a laggard, and Federal Express is a FedEx, not FedEx. FedEx is a laggard. So we need to take a look into those. Apple was there, for example, was picked by AI system, and it is up in last 1 month by 11.1%. So one good way to start the month, the beginning of the month, you take a look at their charts and find what their convictional buying score is. So next point comes, what is the convictional buying score is, and how to identify good points. So before we go to that, there's another list which I want to discuss, which is growth, quantum, AI, and semiconductor list. And this is also kind of a handpicked list by me. I update it every quarterly, but I have recently moved to the monthly frequency. So I changed it to the monthly. And for example, this was updated on the 1st of May, along with the main AI pick list. And this is a combination of high flying, high growth stocks in these areas: quantum computing, emerging sectors, AI infrastructure players, semiconductors. So you will find very highly volatile stocks over there. Some, but even then, because last 1 month was very good for semiconductor and chips and growth stocks in general. So last 1 month's performance, you will find it very good in general, except for a few stocks, which will always be there, like Inet collapsed. And we had a sell signal. It was in our weekly pick list as well. And towards the top side is again MXL, and you will find other stocks: Simo, Itom, MU, Intel, SanDisk, AMD, Seagate, Value. All these stocks are there. So so that's to give you an idea how the investment ideas list work and how often they get updated. My priority is that I am still evaluating. The question was that which one is the best one. So there are three or different four, and they have come from different schools of thoughts. One is more focused on earnings. It's earnings. So that's why it's 100 stock. It's focused on fundamentals only. This one is more focused on the growth. So you choose and pick your style. This one is AI monthly picks. This is system generated system list, given by some parameter which I explained here: patterns, volume trends, and technical indicator. And this one is just 18 stocks. So this is my own. To answer your question, this is my preferred or recommended, because it has a very short list, just 18 stocks, 12 stocks, 21 stocks, not more than that. And I keep on updating it every week. So based on my weekly commentary findings, so this is my handpick and this is my preferred. So that's why it is in our weekly picks list. But does not mean that they are not good. They are not good picks in among other areas as well. They could be, and they will be. We cannot pick every good thing in the market ourselves. So let's say we were evaluating and we found this. So change the view from performance to action and conviction view. And when you change it to this, it gives a conviction score and the suggested action, which is still a suggestion by the system, not exactly by me. Sometimes I go against this system generated messages, but most likely it will be in line with this. Now, conviction, what does conviction means? For example, let's evaluate this week. We have two more new stocks here. One is PL, other one is TSM. Conviction means to evaluate, just press this, for example, go to PL. And it will take you to the stocks analysis list. All space stocks are good, and this PL is in state. Question was about space technology and SpaceX. So PL itself is Planet Labs, and it's a satellite. You want to know more about the company? It's construct launches and constellation of satellites with the intent of providing high cadence geospatial data delivered to customers. So this is a space stocks, and this is my pick for this current week. And to answer your question about the SpaceX, I shared in my customer group ETF NASA, NASA. And NASA is going to have stakes in SpaceX, Rocket Lab, Lunar, and PL, and all others. But it is most of them, in fact, all of them probably will be non-compliant according to this standard. Why? Because they take excessive growth debt to finance their growth. And because of that, the interest charges are quite high, interest they have to pay. And that's why they fail in this criteria. Normally, or maybe the cash ratio is too low. So coming back to this PL, the PL things, this is again the buy I was saying, and it's giving a conviction score of 4.2 out of a total maximum theoretically possible 10. Now, what is 10 and what is 4.2? So we have a number of different parameters to which we assign some weightage. For example, I explained WRPCT earlier, weighted rank percentile. I gave some weight to this. I gave some earning rating. Those are, unfortunately, this is a new company and not available. The data is not available for this particular company. It's a very new company. Most of the new tech company will fall into this category. But apart from that, the primary indicator for my price action is for my selection is my own TR indicator, trend recognition, which is telling me that it's in a strong buy and it is very near to that, within the 5% of its high. The two most critical components for me are relative strength, that how the stock is relatively in other S&P 500 stocks or the broader index is performing, and this should be strong to give you a high conviction score. And whether the street is accumulating or distributing its shares, it has to be a strong accumulation in order to have a high conviction score. And it is already in one of my lists, which is weekly picks list. So if, for example, a stock qualify for 2 or 3 lists, it is in a growth list, it is in AI pick list. This is PL, Planet Labs, right here. PL, Planet Labs. Then automatically the conviction score will start going up. And anything which is more than 3.5 to 4, beyond that, is a strong stock. It's almost impossible to get everything green here. Every indicator like this Ichimoku or Power Zone and another thing, the PPO zero crossover and to appear in all those lists, that's almost next to impossible. And that's why you won't see anything beyond 7. So for me, anything above 3.7 to 4, 5, 6 conviction score is a very good score. It tells us about this buy zone that's system generated. And then it's a TR indicator. Now we will go and analyze its chart. We will either can analyze its chart on our software here for last 1 year, and this is what its growth has been. You see, it's already been has lifted and gone from less than 10 from September to 40. So the question arises whether it is still a good buy or not. In almost all other cases, I would say it's extended, and system would also probably mark it standard because it has. You cannot expect Apple to rise by 400% or 300%. Being a mature company and a solid business, you cannot expect Nvidia to do that. But small companies, tech company in hot sector like space tech, they can do it. Semiconductors with the new technology in tech sector, you can expect this thing to go further 10-15% up and give you a gain again. Now this is within this 39.57 and this is 40.60, slightly above than the 5% buy point. And our strategy is, what is the question? 1 second. Our relative strength, you define it as strong, weak based on your analysis, based on my analysis. Relative strength means, I will explain how we can, that is price action, how it was, for example, 1 year ago, and how it is right now. So for example, from 5 to 50 or 45 is 800% gain. And then we will compare it with the S&P 500 gain, 500 stocks index, that how it performed over the same period of year relatively. And then we will also compare it against its own sector, which is in this case tech sector. And that gives you a relative strength figure. Anyway, so it is close to this buy point but slightly extended. But in this case, we need to be more aggressive because this is an aggressive stock by nature of it. It will move 10-15% every day. It is possible, and this is what it has been doing. So why we were inclined towards selecting this, I also mentioned in my weekly commentary that this is a highly volatile stock for aggressive traders only and need more than 8 to 10% of a stop loss level. So our general recommendation is 8 to 10% stop loss level. And its earnings are also coming up 4th of June. But it is in a strong uptrend. How do we know it's in a strong uptrend? By taking a look at our TR indicator. Now, where exactly is the entry for TR indicator? The TR indicator on our software plots the buy point and corresponding stop loss. And we recommend that when it crosses the buy point and it starts this green zone, and within the 5% of this buy point, then that's the entry point. Now, this is a late stage entry point. For example, this was the buy point and it started it here back in August. This could have been an ideal entry and should have given us such a tremendous rise. Now it has already increased, but since the sector itself, because of the SpaceX IPO, is moving and expected to move for this kind of stock, it is possible that this can go another 40-50% in no time. Can we get percentage edit as we change the time range view? We'll see into that separately. So that's one thing, but I would like to analyze it, go further, and use there's the same indicator, TR indicator, on the trading view. Why trading view? Because trading view, I like this software because of it's a professional trading platform, a very advanced charting capabilities. So instead of Cisco, it was PL. So let's get the data for PL. Now, how do we identify and combine the price action on our TR indicator chart on the trading view? Now, I would like to explain this PPO crossover. The PPO crossover is already there on our main page as a strategy right here. And when it combines any of this strategy, when it gives you a green signal and it combines along with the TR indicator, that's normally is a very good entry. So here it is not giving it. But anyway, fine. This is a relative strength. You see this relative strength chart? Its relative strength compared to the S&P 500 is on rise and it's a maximum 52. This is how we want our stock to be. Relatively have this kind of a strength against a broader S&P 500 index. But not against this index, we would also like to see it perform. Look, the PL is ETF, is US Aerospace and Defense. Within its ETF, it means within its own industry group, it is beating its group by such a wide margin during last 1 year, shown by these green graphs. And the group itself has been very strong against the S&P 500. But the group itself is not part of tech sector, it's part of industrial sector. That's how the classification is, unfortunately. The industrial factor overall has not beaten S&P 500. But if the group is beating and the stock is beating, that means that it is showing a very high relative strength. And this is means by being a leader in its own group. And the group itself is a leader among other groups. So there are a total of, if we go by IBD classification, there are 197 groups. Dow Jones, I think, have 104 industry groups. So different classification have different set of groups. So coming back to our trading view chart. So what is the ideal entry and the buy point here? As I explained, in our trend recognition system, when you see this green triangle, this is the first stage. And this is telling you that the trend has starting uptrend. This light green bar means this is the second stage and the trend has established itself, although it's still not very strong, not very high momentum. And when you see this green bar, green band, solid green, that means that is also accompanied by strong momentum in the stock. But does not mean that if it is here, that it is still a strong buy. Ideally, we would like to be when the buy point occurred, when the first stage occurs, and the green point this is normally generally a buy point. And the buy points are not mentioned here, but this is when the start of the green zone, that's the buy point. Now, in my experience, what I have seen, that if I accompany this thing with this PPO crossover, and this is the main PPO line, and this is the PPO average line. They're two lines, just like MACD, shorter term moving average and a crossover. If the blue line is going down below its average line, downward direction, and you see a first stage signal, right, just like right here, chances are there that this signal will fail. the blue line has to be in this kind of action, going up and crossing it from like this position. This is where normally you will find the second or third stage of TR indicator being formed. And probability or chances of success or a big gain are much higher in this case. So for example, over here, it was here, but the blue line was much lower than the average. So eventually the signal just triggered, but it did not perform very well. PPO means percent price oscillator right here, and it is a modified form of MACD, moving average convergence divergence. And if you are not comfortable with PPO, I like PPO for one matter, but the MACD is equally good, and you can have MACD plotted here as well. So for example, any other case, if you find Apple over there and you want to analyze Apple, take a look when Apple gives this kind of signal. First stage, right here, but it is still below zero line, so it's still weak. And this line is crossing it. So if you know the Apple, you have this is your stop loss, then this has a higher chance of successful. But we will wait till this green zone appears. When the green zone appeared, this could be entry, or the strong green zone appeared, this could be entry. So our entry in Apple was, I gave an entry for Apple around, the PPO is not a default setting. You can add the indicator to PPO anytime, going through this indicator and select PPO from there, and it will add PPO at the bottom. So we gave an entry, for example, let's go to our performance sheet. So we gave an Apple signal on Apple on 1st of April, price was 251, and we gave a signal to Broadcom on 2nd of April, price was 313. So what was happening on April? In 1st of April, the market was, now we always take a look at the market. Market was giving us the same signal, and we were right here. So we took, and we saw that PPO 0 crossover happened here. Eventually, we know that the green zone will appear, but that it takes some time for a few bars to establish that green. So it was an early entry just after the first stage. And normally the early entry can also fail. For example, over here, take a look, if early entry you find somewhere where that the early entry was below, the PPO was below this line. I just spotted a few there, and that probably will, I could not find it here anyway because Apple has been strong recently. For example, this one. But this is also after this crossover. So that's why it gave you some move. So you should be looking for a TR indicator, second stage or third stage, and close to this buy point here. And this is a price action we should be looking at the PPO. And when we got this thing combined together, we got a very good signal. Generally, we get a very good signal. So for example, in the 2nd of April or 1st of April, we gave signal April 251, as I mentioned here, when this signal appears. And we did not wait for the second or third wait. That was a bold call. That's why I mentioned it is a bold call. Normally, I don't do that because based on our experience, we were looking at this and we knew that enough, we have had enough, and most of the stocks are finding support, a market will go up. And that's exactly what happened. Whatever we gave signal on 30th March, 31st March, 1st of April, those have performed very well. Look here, Marvel, 27 March, 88%, AGX, 27 March, 28%, GEV, 30th March, still open, 28%, Google, 31st March, 38%, NVIDIA, 31st March, 174, 29% up. Even Microsoft, 31st March, 14% up. Amazon, 31st March, it was 208, 27% up. Apple, I just explained. Broadcom, 36%. And look at Intel. At 7th of April, we gave it 49.87 and 118% up. Take a look at Intel action. This is exactly the first stage appeared, right? The PPO cross it and the green zone start. That's the point to enter. And we in fact waited for a bit long and we enter here because we could see that it's a very strong move. We should have entered here, but we cannot enter every stock at every day. That's normally not possible. And that's why Intel gave us a very strong move, which was 118%. And this is after that drop in Intel. Intel went to, I think, 120 or 25. So the overall gain was at one point was something around 130 or 40%. Anyway, so this happens. Now take a look here, for example. This blue line is below this. This is what I was looking, 29th of January, and this is Intel again. And this was the first stage signal of TR indicator. But the blue line has not crossed the orange line, the moving average line. You see, then ultimately it struggled, and the strong green zone never appeared. And it failed. The chance, this is what I was saying here as well. This was very close. No, it was not crossing it in volume, maybe it's crossing here, but not really. And again, it was not crossing it. It was in between the orange zone. So we just ignored the first stage signal. But here the situation is different. Beginning of the market was doing the same thing. And not only the market, our signal was turned green here, and this blue line TPO crossover happened right here. So that was an entry point for Intel, right point at the right time. Even if we missed that, we entered something around at 7th of April. But even then, we got a very strong move. So what we are doing, we're combining with this indicator. In other words, we are increasing our conviction or chances of success. We're not relying upon just TR indicator. We're just not relying upon our one indicator. We're looking at its relative strength. We're looking at its accumulation distribution. We're looking at the seasonality pattern as well. So, for example, NVIDIA, by the way, again going back, and here NVIDIA is in my weekly list as a long term. Right here, NVIDIA should be right here. And it has a very high conviction score of 5.8. So we gave an entry about NVIDIA, not only on March, when it was at 174.4, 31st of March, we gave a bold entry at that, but recently as well. Why recently? Going back to this trading view chart again. And no, this trading view chart actually was built, and this indicator was built for day trading. But I realized that it is very quick, very efficient, and very powerful to use as a daily, as in daily or weekly. So this is when the Middle East war was at its peak, no peace deal. But we saw this price action. Below here, any signal, if this kind of signal has happened here or here, I would have ignored it. I would not taken into account. Here it is still low. But at that time, we were confident the market has taken a bottom. The first stage signal came, PPO0's crossover happened, and we took chances here. That's why it's still a bold call. Normally, my style is, and my recommendation is that wait for this green zone to appear, either second stage or third, and this is where you should enter. But most of the time, it's a bit late in the move because it takes time for the system to realize that this particular move has happened. So this is an early move. So if you are lucky, you can get the early move. But in order to get the early move, you have to be more vigilant. Identify, that not every early move is a success. You should have a tight stop loss, and you should accompany this with some high conviction score, or at least this PPO crossover. So this PPO crossover happened right here. We gave an entry at 174, something like that. And after that, we also gave an entry something around here as well when it was trying to pop up here, because we could see that NVIDIA is trying to break out from its all-time high, and which it did. But right now, if you ask me, it's still the system saying is NVIDIA is in the green zone. Fine, long term is a good stock. Fine, but I would like to enter at these positions so that I can maximize my gains rather than just targeting 10, 15, or 5% gain. What is going to be my reward to risk here? Very high. Where is going to be my stop loss here? Should be something around here. So I have a very wide stop loss, or I will be having a small gain. That's not what I want, especially from a mover or a company like NVIDIA. I would like to enter right here. And then I can wait for maybe months or year because this is a long-term stock. So, and the question was, previous call you mentioned 3 green diamonds on the trend chart before it can, 3D green diamond, it can be called by strong buy. Can you explain that? 3 green diamond, I don't remember 3 green diamond. I never see 3 green diamond. Maybe you're talking about this thing. This is a power zone. Now this is a power zone. And honestly, I always take a look, just with a click, change it. This is the power zone. This is the weekly power zone. So on the weekly chart, this is the power zone. Maybe you're talking about this, and this is crossing it here. So this is why we gave a call again for NVIDIA that is trying to break out, coming out of this power zone. And normally the power zone on the weekly charts are very successful. And this is a breakdown zone, in other words. So I strongly recommend, if you do not have a subscription of main software, which is expensive, obviously I understand that, then this TR indicator on the trading view is very helpful, both on the daily and weekly charts, to give you an idea immediately how the stock is supposed to perform on a weekly chart. Now, the weekly signals are very strong signals, generally on the TR chart. So when it gives the PPO crossover, give you the first stage signal here, and you have above this, you don't wait for the green signal on the weekly chart, because you want to be an early mover. If it is a good stock, high conviction score based on your analysis, you can take chances here with a small stop loss here, rather than take chances here and give a wider stop loss. But normally our recommendation is, because my approach, I'm more conservative, not very aggressive investor. So I would enter here. In case of NVIDIA, I can even make an early entry and enter here. Okay. Now, there's a question about Microsoft or Meta. Microsoft is among one of my, going back to the list here. Microsoft is here, somewhere here. Where is Microsoft? I missed that. Ah, okay. Microsoft is not here. I have to add this. This is a mistake. MSFT. Okay, I missed that here for some reason. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's part of my weekly commentary. I will add it back here. Let's go to the Microsoft and very quickly analyze the same thing on the Microsoft. And this is the weekly chart. Probably first we will take a look at the daily chart and the weekly chart. Once again here, when you are below zero PPO zero line, then chances of failure are higher. But anyway, first stage come, PPO crossover. You should ideally wait for this green zone, right? 402. And this is where we gave an entry for Microsoft around 31st of March, which was 370. Now, being under the 200-day line, generally this is not my style, and generally I don't go for any stock which trades below the 200-day line, because it's going to struggle for a long time before it comes up and picks up a strong stock. And this is exactly what Microsoft is doing. But looks like the Microsoft has formed a bottom here and a base here, and it has again given a first stage signal, and then we can wait for this PPO again to move this blue line to come again, and that will be an entry. If you are a risk taker, you can even take a risk here as well, because this is Microsoft, and we know that Microsoft has a tendency to come back strongly. Generally, I wait for 200-day line as a principle, and I don't give an entry, and that's why it's not in my weekly commentary as well. I know, okay, because it is trading below the 200-day line. Generally, I don't give an entry when there is any stock is trading its 200-day weekly 200-day line. Now go to weekly chart of Microsoft and see how good signals are here. Previous signal was here. First stage, PPO crossover, green zone. Even the green zone come, you see how big a move it give to you, 432, all the way to something around 550. Then it starts to struggle, and you realize that this first diamond, that it is struggling. The red bars are appearing, and then you get out at this point. Don't wait for this to come here. And if you wait for this thing, this is a sell signal. The way it is breaking down here, because it means that the further slide will come. And that's please go back and watch my video from last week, 2 weeks ago, on the sell signal. So this is the first sell signal it gave, second sell signal, and the third sell signal. And if you don't exit on the timely basis, eventually you will run into losses mounting to 20, 30, or 40% even beyond. And this happened to Microsoft. But recently, as the software itself has stabilized, on the weekly chart, we again find this, and it's taking its time to move past this zone. Eventually, it will, but it's taking its time. But we have a very good base being formed in Microsoft case. What is bothering me or concerning me that our PPO is still weak, is still below zero line, although it has crossed the moving average. It should be like this. Only then this green zone will appear. The TR indicator will give you a green zone only when the PPO is above zero. Below zero, it won't give it to you. In other words, it's taking its time to consolidate, to form a base. And if you can wait for maybe weeks or months, then you can do that. TR indicator is mostly lagging, except for the momentum component. It mostly calculates after the move, but it has a momentum component because when it gives you question whether TR is a lagging or leading, it's a mix of both. Lagging most side, but it measures the momentum, and momentum itself is a kind of a leading indicator because momentum is in this direction that it is telling you that if it is starting, that the chances are leading to this directions are higher. If it is in the orange, the chances of moment, and this is strong, it means the chances of going down are higher. Eventually, everything will come stop and reverse. Okay. So that was Microsoft on the request. So we would like to focus on our main stock list. So we evaluated Microsoft and Apple and Nvidia, and so that's how we analyze. So for example, AI monthly picks. You choose any monthly picks from here. You find it that it says its action is buy, its conviction, its score is buy. Let's analyze it in details. So Roku, for example, was another one, and it will bring you to this screen and will give you again some summary of the Roku. It's again non-compliant, so you have to take into account this. And you see here this conventional score of 5.1, which is very good, but it is somewhat, to my own personal trading style, is a bit extended. It's not giving you the TR indicator any check mark. Check mark means it is within the 5% of a buy point. And this also have very high score, strategy snapshot. Having a backtesting for the three best strategies, it is each for three for daily or three for weekly. It tells us that these are the best strategies when it like PPO crossover is one of the best strategies for this stock. But it does not give me any green signal. So I may not go for something like Roku at this point because I have some more or better stocks available in this my investment ideas list. Microsoft not in the monthly picks list. I will take a look. I think let's go back to the weekly list. Okay. It was discussed here. Right. I think I missed that. Microsoft is there and I should add it back here. Only reason I could have avoided it earlier, I can think of Microsoft was that it is still it's under 200-day line. This is Microsoft, yes. This is weekly chart. This if you go and anything trading under a 200-day line mean it is weak on a long-term basis. Once it get below this 200-day line here, you see it was struggling all the way from last October or November. It takes a long time to get back. And this is what it is doing right now. So eventually it will do that. If you are an early mover, most of my customers, fortunately or unfortunately, they are kind of swing trading person. They want immediate payback and immediate gains, which in the case of Microsoft is not possible. That is why Microsoft was picked right here. Signal was given 35, but it is still 14% up, minimum of all these, the most of the recent picks. So I hope that was a description of how can we go into these depth of these trading ideas, investment ideas. How long do we hold weekly peak? As long as there is no sell signal or time to close. Question was how long in the weekly peaks we hold this. There are two things. Please watch my last 2 weeks old recognizing sell signals. The first thing is that what is your profit objective? On any new stock, like say we give Google, Nvidia, whatever. First, if it comes to 15 to 20%, then we should take some profit off the table and bring our stop loss to break even level. So it does not go back and give us losses. Number one. Number two, we ride the trend as long as it lasts. So we are still riding the trend on Intel. Just I explained the Intel chart to you, right? We're still riding this trend, although it is a sell signal right now. So if I were holding Intel, its choice is me, but it still is still strong. It can find support here. But to me, this is a sell signal. Likelihood are that Intel will further come down to at least to this level or to this level to try to close this gap. If not right now, then eventually will. It will take some time, try to go up, then come back. Maybe find a base and then go back. But right now it is for the sell signal. So this is the time to sell Intel. Why I have not sold Intel here? Because my gain are quite high, still 118%. Even if I give back further 15-20% gain here, I don't care. I don't mind. I can give it a chance. So, but if someone buying here or here, that is too much of drop, 20-30%. He or she should immediately get out of the Intel because this is a sell signal. Okay. Wish list is on the one on the spreadsheet. Was it our picks? Which spreadsheet? The spreadsheet that comes with the trading view, those are none of these. This is a separate comes with the trading view subscription for just for the day traders, and it comes every day early in the morning. This is the one you are talking about. Okay, one open on my PC. This is my performance worksheet to track which, for example, last 1 year starting from maybe 27 of December 24, each and every weekly pick weekly call or weekly stock which appears in weekly picks is given here. These are the positions which are open, which you see in the weekly pick investment idea list, and these have been closed. And these are some swing trades, and some trades were given through the social media only, and not in the weekly picks. Those are here. So basically, this is a chart, and this is a tracker of all my weekly calls. So some also we close in losses, like HIMS, we close at 8% loss, 2% loss, 10% loss, AGX. Okay. Question about which one are more recommended, weekly picks or AI picks? I would say weekly picks because those are my hand picks things. It's my personal style, but AI picks are equally good. AI is very intelligent system. It takes into account most of things, and that's why the list is too small as well. If you go to the investment ideas page, the AI list is not a long list. You can always consider AI picks list and the weekly pick list from there, and give it a double number, double marks if that stock appears in the earning stars as well. Alert mechanism for close tickers. I whenever we close any ticker, we mention it in our weekly commentary right here, like we mentioned for the NEM that we are closing this position, it should be closed, and we also mention it in our WhatsApp group and a social media group. If it happens with in the middle of the week, we always mention it over there. Okay. So I hope that this explains the value in these 4 or 5 lists. The fifth one is a value stock. It is not meant for quick moves. It's meant for slow growth, high but maybe high dividend. And most of them you see they have avoid and hold kind of status. Only PACS has a buy status. So there and the conviction score you see is also very low except for this PACS. So because trend recognition or the trending system, it looks for growth stock. It looks for bigger move rather than value stocks. So this is a list for the value stocks. If you and I maybe I can take it out because not many people are focused on this value stock list. Yeah, I have been receiving. No, I don't receive. Give any. The AI picks are exclusive. They are separately calculated, and the weekly picks are excluded. But chances are there you will find some stocks in both of these lists. Reason being, both have same base of these high conviction score and these high these things as well. They evaluate these things. One is done by AI itself. One is done by manually by me. And maybe one day if I get run out of time, I can leave my weekly hand pick list altogether and just move to the AI picks if AI gets so strong. But you know what? Human interaction to me is always important, and human selection interaction is always have a higher rank, in my opinion, than the purely AI selection. That's just me. Maybe you can disagree with me on this. So going back to our investment idea list, we have covered all those lists. How do we pick? How do we mention the check the conviction score? And how do we use this trading view with this people crossover and this to pick up good stocks. Below and this, are you talking about this bar? This is a price bar. It's just telling me the last working day, this was the price range for this particular stock, Roku. It moved from 121 to 125.65 and it ended at 124.02. Okay, that was the question. All right, now going back to our presentation, we have to close it within 5-7 minutes. And so we were here, we mentioned it here. Now, I'm having a promotional deal for my TradingView day indicator because it was launched just last month. And this is a May special. Basically, there are two annual plans to keep it simple. I think many customers are getting confused. The weekly commentary stock is itself is just $9.99 a month, or annual package if you go to the main website and subscribe annually is $110. Full stock analysis software with TR indicator, AI technical analysis, conviction scores, confidence scores, investment ideas list, which I just explained in details, pattern detection, and all other features. It's known as Elite. It's $25 per month, or annual package is $275 per year. So you get 1 month free basically in both of these. Now, if you subscribe to annually, or you are already an annual subscriber who has subscribed in recent past, you buy any annual package from there, and the new TR day trading indicator, which I was just showing you on the trading view, is basically it's $200 per year or $20 per month. On yearly package, $200 per year if you choose annual. But if you have a subscription to the annual, you buy annual this or this, and you add on this, it's just $60 only for the whole year, which is on a $20 package, 75% off, or 70% off on this 200 regular price of $200 if you just subscribe to that trading view thing. So it is offer is also available for the existing annual plan subscribers who have subscribed to the annual plans of either this or this. They can get it additional just for $60, or to the new customer as well. And if you want to do that, you need to go to the main website, analyzestock.net, and select an annual plan either for weekly commentary or AI powered, this one or this one, annual plan, and complete the purchase. Within 24 hours. I will send you the coupon for that for promotion. You again go to the website and the net day trading indicator, this one, select the annual side, push this subscribe $200 a year, enter the promotion code, and you will get it only for $60, which is obviously $5 a month for the next one year. You will be needing a TradingView account, which is free of cost. If you're not doing day trading, you can keep it free. But I strongly suggest that you go to the essential plans, which is $15 per month. But I don't just suggest, it's up to you. And it's their your money and their account and their platform. But it's a very strong platform, and I urge everyone to, if they can. Otherwise, my software is enough. But if you like that TradingView, because it's a professional traders platform, it has very advanced charting features as well. So, and then you need to provide me the username to give you the access for this particular indicator. And the advantage is that you have multiple charts in one window. You can have 2-3 monitors. You can have market chart like S&P 500 and NASDAQ. And so you should always see what the overall market is doing. If the market is going like this, you are most likely the good stocks or market stock will also act like that. But if the market is not in this direction and market is going like, whenever I think of a big stock, unfortunately, I think of Adobe. When the market is thinking like this, you will find this kind of most stock will be doing this, and it's very hard to find long stocks, long trades, for while we are looking at having a market like that. So we should be very cognizant of that fact. Okay. What is the question? What platform do you use to trade? Do you use IBKR? I use IBKR for my personal trading. I have an account with IBKR and E-Trade. Quantum stocks, it's not the time actually left. Boss, we will probably look at the quantum. They are doing well. They are coming back, and they are quantum stocks in general. They are very highly risky stocks. So I would say that while this deal is going on, I think for $60 for the whole year for this indicator, if you want to do, and you will be receiving the list of day trading stock every day, and by a combination of this thing using the charting features of trading platform, probably it will give you a much better edge to your trading. Like this Adobe example, I'm coming back to Adobe again. When I think of weak stock, I always think of Adobe for some reason. It's trading below 200-day line. So every move for upward, I will be expecting a resistance at this line or that line. That's given. It tried, it failed. It tried, it failed. It tried, it failed. Unless and until it finds above the 200-day line this kind of trend, which it is not going to find, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever. So what should we do? We should avoid Adobe unless we find it. Okay? Would any of the investment idea be something like the next? It will definitely pick everything, but we in advance don't know what is going to be Sundays, what is going to be MU. But we gave a call for Sundays at the right time. Take a look at the Sundays chart, for example. Our indicator last year gave a call here, PPO crossover, and this and that. If that was the right time, 275. When? Starting of the Jan. And then it went all the way up to here. Now people are asking me, is it a good time to buy Sunday? Is it a good time? No, it's not a good time. It has already moved this much. And Sandec has a history of consolidating or struggling in the second half of the quarter. So most likely it will do a consolidating action for at least for some time. But it's a good stock. Watch for an entry when it gives you the signal again, first stage, and it turns green again. That could be an entry to take chances on Sanders. Okay, if that's pretty much it, 12:15, I would like to call it a day. And not right now, CVNA, I can answer that separately, but I want to close this session. Carvana. So there's a request on Carvana. Let's very quickly take a look at Carvana. And I think Carvana was a disastrous stock, if I'm not mistaken. Look at this. Do you like to be there? It's below 200-day line. It's strong on its own. Now it tried, it failed, it again came down. And these are sell signals straight away. So if you want to short the stock, that's fine. It's a perfect stock to short when it comes back here at a resistance at high. But for the long position, it is not. Unless you find something like this. This green zone, the TR indicator zone, will help you to remain on the right side of the trend instead of this side of the trend. Okay? Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone's time. You can always send me messages directly if you are be a part of my customers group where we discuss these stocks or everyday positions and trades. And thanks for joining me and hope to see you again. And I will post this very soon, maybe today on my YouTube channel. Thank you and goodbye.